Welcome to the fascinating world of rare coins, where every piece carries its own story, hidden value, and historical charm. Today, we explore one such remarkable Washington quarter that has captured the attention of collectors and continues to shine as a prized treasure in numismatics. First up, the Washington quarter dollar of 1965, bearing no mint mark, stands as one of the most fascinating and significant issues within U.S. coinage history. Collectors are drawn to it not merely because it represents the continuation of the iconic Washington design, but because it marks a dramatic turning point in American coin production. Although millions were minted, certain surviving examples have achieved ultra-rare status, particularly those that escaped into circulation under unusual conditions, such as transitional errors or those struck on leftover silver planchets. Today, this coin holds a special place in numismatics, with its reputation for both historical importance and market intrigue, making it one of the most hotly pursued Washington quarters by serious collectors. In the mid-1960s, the United States faced a severe coin shortage, and the rising price of silver made continued use of the metal economically unsustainable. As a result, 1965 became the first year the Washington quarter was struck in clad composition rather than silver, using layers of copper and nickel instead of the traditional 90% silver alloy. This shift was a landmark decision that reflected the economic and political realities of the era, as the government sought to stabilize coin production for everyday commerce. The absence of a mint mark on the 1965 quarter reflects another deliberate choice by the U.S. Mint to simplify distribution during the shortage and discourage speculative hoarding of coins by collectors and the general public. On the obverse, the coin features John Flanagan's classic portrait of George Washington, which had already become an iconic image since its introduction in 1932. The reverse displays the bold heraldic eagle, wings spread proudly, perched on a bundle of arrows and framed by olive branches. These elements symbolize both strength and peace, continuing the patriotic themes of the series. In terms of specifications, the coin measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, weighs 5.67 grams, and was struck in the new clad copper-nickel composition that would define circulating quarters for decades to follow. High-grade pieces exhibit sharp detail in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, making them especially attractive to collectors who value fine artistry. While ordinary 1965 quarters are common, the rarity emerges when one considers special varieties and conditions. Transitional errors, where a 1965 design was struck on leftover 90% silver planchets, are exceptionally scarce and command strong demand in the market. Even more intriguing are examples struck with double dies or unusual striking flaws that set them apart from the millions of ordinary issues. Furthermore, condition plays a pivotal role. Coins that remain in mint state, free from wear or heavy bag marks, are far more difficult to find today, especially considering the heavy circulation these quarters endured. A dirty or worn example may seem ordinary at first glance, but if it carries the traits of an error or transitional strike, its value can be astonishingly high. The market value of a 1965 Washington quarter varies dramatically depending on condition and type. Regular circulation strikes in average condition may only be worth their face value, but mint state examples graded MS65 or higher can reach into the hundreds of dollars. More extraordinary are the silver transitional errors, which have sold for thousands at auction, sometimes exceeding $5,000 depending on grade and eye appeal. Coins verified by top grading services such as PCGS or NGC carry an added premium due to the confidence they inspire among buyers. Market trends indicate steady appreciation for these rarities, as more collectors recognize their historical importance and as available high-grade examples grow scarcer. For those interested in adding this quarter to their collection, careful identification is key. Collectors should learn to distinguish between ordinary clad strikes and the extremely valuable silver planchet errors, often revealed by their distinct weight or tone. Certification by a reputable grading service is essential, particularly when dealing with potentially valuable varieties. Storing such coins properly in climate-controlled holders or albums helps preserve both their aesthetic appeal and long-term value. Collectors are also advised to watch major auctions, where rare varieties frequently appear, or to engage with experienced dealers and numismatic communities that specialize in Washington quarters. The 1965 Washington quarter embodies a turning point in American coinage history, serving as both a relic of changing economic conditions and a treasure of numismatic artistry. For beginners, it represents an accessible entry into the world of coin collecting, while for advanced enthusiasts, it offers the thrill of hunting down ultra-rare varieties that hold remarkable value. Its dual legacy as both a workhorse of U.S. commerce and an object of great rarity ensures that it will remain a coin of enduring fascination. In the end, the enduring appeal of the 1965 quarter lies in its balance of history, symbolism, and scarcity. It tells the story of America's transition from precious metal coinage to modern clad designs, while still offering collectors the chance to uncover hidden gems of immense worth. Whether one encounters it as a common piece of loose change or as a pristine rarity in an auction catalogue, this coin embodies the very spirit of numismatics, the pursuit of beauty, rarity, and historical meaning within the everyday objects of commerce. Its place in modern collecting is secure, and its future value remains as strong as its past legacy. Next up, the 1966 Washington quarter without a mint mark holds a distinct place in the landscape of U.S. coinage, representing both continuity and transition in the history of American money. To the casual eye, it may look like just another circulation strike, but to collectors, it carries historical intrigue and hidden potential value. While common examples remain in abundance, rare errors, unusual strikes, and high-grade survivors elevate this coin to a level of strong desirability in the numismatic community. Collectors prize it not only as part of the broader Washington Quarter series, but also as a tangible reminder of a period of dramatic change in the nation's coinage system. The coin was minted during a turbulent time in U.S. monetary history. In 1965, the mint had shifted away from silver coinage in response to rising silver prices and an acute coin shortage across the country. By 1966, the copper-nickel-clad quarters were firmly established. And the mint was still omitting mint marks to prevent hoarding, with all coins being struck in Philadelphia. The Washington Quarter, first introduced in 1932 to honor the bicentennial of George Washington's birth, continued to carry the same patriotic imagery into this new era. Its 1966 release reflected the government's commitment to providing stable coinage for commerce, while simultaneously phasing out precious metal issues that had become unsustainable. The design of the 1966 quarter remained faithful to John Flanagan's original work. The obverse features a dignified portrait of George Washington, facing left, with inscriptions including Liberty and In God We Trust, along with the date below. The reverse depicts a heraldic eagle with wings spread, clutching arrows as a symbol of readiness, surrounded by olive branches representing peace. The coin was struck in copper-nickel clad over pure copper core, weighing 5.67 grams with a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. Though this was a mass-produced circulation piece, coins in pristine condition display fine details, such as the sharp texture of Washington's hair and the feathers of the eagle, which contribute to their aesthetic and collector appeal. Although 1966 quarters are plentiful in general circulation, scarcity arises when one examines varieties, errors, and condition. Transitional errors, where a coin may have been struck on leftover silver planchets, remain among the most coveted and valuable discoveries. Other rarities include off-center strikes, double dies, or coins with unusual lamination flaws, all of which command significant premiums. Condition also plays a defining role in rarity. Most quarters from 1966 circulated heavily, so uncirculated or near-mint examples with minimal contact marks are far less common than one might assume. Coins found in dirty or worn condition may seem ordinary, but careful examination can sometimes reveal hidden varieties that dramatically change their worth. The market value of the 1966 Washington quarter varies, widely based on grade and type. Standard circulation strikes in well-worn condition typically carry no premium above face value. However, mint-state examples graded MS65 or higher often trade between $2,500 and $4,000, depending on luster and strike quality. Exceptional pieces in MS67 or beyond can fetch several $100s at auction. More dramatic are the rare transitional silver planchet strikes, which have sold for thousands, often ranging from $6,000 to $7,000, depending on condition and certification. As collectors continue to seek out unusual errors and high-grade survivors, demand for these rarities remains strong and consistent. For collectors interested in acquiring a 1966 quarter, a careful and methodical approach is key. Identifying rare varieties requires attention to detail, especially weight checks to confirm silver planchets or magnification to spot doubling or striking anomalies. Certification by trusted grading services such as PCGS or NGC is highly recommended, as it provides verification of authenticity and ensures confidence for both buyers and sellers. Proper storage, whether in archival holders, slabs, or albums, is equally important to preserve the coin's quality and prevent further tarnishing or damage. Those looking for rare examples should focus on reputable dealers, specialized auctions, or established numismatic communities. The 1966 quarter offers collectors much more than its simple face value suggests. It tells the story of a time when America was modernizing its coinage, transitioning away from silver, and facing economic pressures that reshaped how money was made and used. For advanced collectors, its era varieties and high-grade survivors offer genuine treasures with significant monetary and historical value. For newer enthusiasts, it serves as an accessible and affordable piece of numismatic history, with the chance of stumbling upon an extraordinary rarity that sets it apart from the ordinary. Ultimately, this coin stands as a bridge between eras, embodying both tradition and change. Its design continued to honor the nation's first president, while its composition marked the future of American coinage. Though millions were minted, the few extraordinary specimens, whether era coins, transitional strikes, or immaculate survivors, have transformed the 1966 Washington quarter into a coveted collectible. Its enduring appeal lies not just in rarity or price, but in its ability to connect collectors to a pivotal moment in U.S. history, ensuring its place as a valued and respected piece in modern numismatics. Next up, the 1967 Washington quarter without a mint mark has become one of the more fascinating issues in the modern era of U.S. coinage, valued by collectors not for its common circulation form, but for the rare and unusual varieties that occasionally surface. At first glance, most examples appear unremarkable, as millions were produced and circulated heavily. Yet the 1967 quarter tells an important story about American money, and the rarest surviving examples, particularly those struck with errors or found in exceptionally high grades, command significant attention. For numismatists, it offers a mix of historical intrigue, aesthetic design, and the possibility of uncovering an ultra-rare treasure among ordinary change. The coin emerged during a transitional period for U.S. currency. By 1965, the mint had already abandoned silver for quarters, moving to the copper-nickel clad composition that still defines the series today. In 1967, mint marks were deliberately omitted as part of a broader strategy to prevent coin hoarding, since people were actively pulling marked coins out of circulation in hopes of future value. All 1967 quarters were struck in Philadelphia, and the absence of a mint mark reflected this uniform production. This issue also coincided with the mint's efforts to restore public trust in coin supply, as the nation had endured shortages earlier in the decade. While not tied to a specific commemorative event, the 1967 quarter is a product of its era, an emblem of economic adaptation and governmental control of currency. The physical appearance of the 1967 quarter continued the design tradition introduced in 1932 by John Flanagan. The obverse presents the well-known bust of George Washington, with crisp detail in the hair and a dignified profile, paired with the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year. On the reverse, the heraldic eagle dominates, wings spread wide, clutching arrows and framed by olive branches, a clear balance of strength and peace. The coin was struck in clad copper nickel, weighs 5.67 grams, and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter. While the design was unchanged from previous years, collectors find particular appeal in high-quality strikes where details remain sharp and luster is fully intact, offering a glimpse into the artistry that sometimes gets lost in well-worn circulation pieces. Although most 1967 quarters remain common, rarity emerges in several key forms. Proof-like examples and high-grade mint state pieces are difficult to locate, as the bulk of production was intended for commerce, not for collectors. Even scarcer are the rare era coins, off-center strikes, double dies, and transitional planchet errors, where a coin may have been struck on an incorrect metal blank. These anomalies are what transform an otherwise ordinary 25-cent piece into a sought-after collectible worth hundreds or even thousands. The condition of a coin plays a critical role, as most circulated heavily, and surviving examples in pristine condition are disproportionately rare. Thus, while dirty and worn examples are abundant, those that survive with immaculate preservation are considered highly desirable. In today's market, the value of a 1967 Washington quarter varies dramatically. Circulated examples are generally worth only face value, but mint state coins graded MS-65 may bring $1,500 to $3,200, with MS-66 examples often trading for $5,100 to $6,200. The jump in value occurs at the very highest grades, with MS-67 coins sometimes selling for several $100s, and the rare MS-68 commanding prices in the low thousands. Even more extraordinary are era coins or transitional strikes, some of which have realized over $7,200 at auction. These top-end examples demonstrate the dramatic difference that rarity and condition can make in the valuation of this otherwise common issue. For collectors seeking to add this coin to their holdings, strategy is essential. Careful examination of weight and surface details can help identify transitional errors or unusual planchets, while magnification may reveal doubling or other striking varieties. Submitting promising examples to major grading services like PCGS or NGC ensures authentication and preserves long-term value. Proper storage in protective holders is equally important to prevent environmental damage, especially for coins with higher-grade surfaces. Engaging with numismatic communities and reputable auction houses increases the chance of finding exceptional specimens and helps collectors stay informed about current market trends. The 1967 quarter is more than just a coin from the pocket change of its time. It is a snapshot of an era of transformation in American numismatics. It reflects the nation's economic shifts, the mint's attempts to stabilize circulation, and the continuity of a design that had already become a national icon. While most examples remain accessible to anyone, the hidden rarities within this year's production elevate it far beyond its modest face value. Its combination of historical importance and the potential for extraordinary finds keeps it relevant and engaging to numismatists across the spectrum. Ultimately, this coin endures as a symbol of both the ordinary and the exceptional. Millions of people once spent these quarters without a second thought, yet today, collectors recognize in them a chance to connect with history and pursue rarity in unexpected places. For some, the appeal lies in the artistry of Flanagan's design. For others, in the thrill of hunting down elusive varieties or securing the finest known examples. Either way, the 1967 Washington Quarter has secured its place as a meaningful and respected collectible, one that continues to inspire curiosity and investment in modern numismatics. Next up, the 1968 Washington Quarter without a mint mark is one of the more intriguing issues in the long-running series, both for what it represents historically and for the rare circumstances under which it gains substantial value today. While ordinary examples are plentiful and carry no premium in circulated condition, the coin's appeal to collectors comes from rare era varieties, top-grade survivors, and its role as part of an important transition within U.S. coinage. For those who seek out the rarest and most valuable Washington quarters, the 1968 no-mint mark issue offers a fascinating case of how a seemingly ordinary coin can rise in prominence within the numismatic market. This coin was struck during a critical moment in the nation's monetary system. Just a few years earlier, in 1965, the U.S. Mint had moved away from silver, replacing it with a copper-nickel-clad alloy for the quarter. In 1968, mint marks were reintroduced after having been omitted for several years to discourage hoarding. However, quarters minted in Philadelphia that year carried no mint mark, making them identifiable as the output of the nation's oldest mint. At the same time, proof coinage returned to San Francisco, which began striking high-quality proof sets for collectors. Against this backdrop, the 1968 no-mint mark quarter emerges as both a continuation of long-standing tradition and a reflection of evolving minting practices designed to stabilize and modernize U.S. coin production. In design, the 1968 quarter maintained the familiar work of John Flanagan, whose portrait of George Washington had been introduced in 1932. The obverse depicts Washington facing left, framed by the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date. The reverse features the heraldic eagle, wings spread and perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below, a balance of power and peace. The coin was struck in copper-nickel clad over pure copper core, weighing 5.67 grams with a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. What makes these coins especially appealing in higher grades is the clarity of detail in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, which can be stunning when preserved in uncirculated or proof-like states. While the Philadelphia minted 1968 quarter is common in general circulation, scarcity arises in specific contexts. A small number of errors are known, including double die obverses, off-center strikes, and coins struck with clipped planchets, all of which are highly desirable among specialists. Even more intriguing are transitional planchet errors, although exceedingly rare, where a coin might have been struck on a leftover silver planchet. Beyond errors, the condition of the coin plays a pivotal role. Most 1968 quarters entered circulation and were used heavily, so examples in pristine mint state with full luster and sharp strike are genuinely scarce. Collectors know that coins in dirty or heavily worn condition rarely bring premiums, but the rare high-grade survivors are where the true value lies. The market value of the 1968 no-mint mark quarter reflects this balance of abundance and rarity. In circulated condition, it is typically worth only face value, but mint state examples begin to command premiums. At MS65, coins can range from $2,800 to $4,600, while MS66 pieces often bring $6,100 or more. MS-67 coins, however, are quite rare and may achieve several $100s at auction. Era varieties, especially dramatic double dies or off-metal strikes, can sell for thousands, with some examples crossing the $9,000 threshold depending on condition and certification. The combination of rarity, grade, and demand among advanced collectors continues to drive the appreciation of these unusual coins in the numismatic marketplace. For those seeking to collect this issue, careful attention to detail is critical. Examining coins under magnification can reveal doubling or striking anomalies that add significant value. Weighing coins can help identify transitional planchets, which differ slightly from the standard clad composition. Certification from trusted grading services such as PCGS or NGC is strongly recommended, as it not only authenticates the coin but also protects its long-term value. Collectors should store their coins in holders that prevent exposure to humidity and contaminants, especially since dirt and tarnish can further reduce eye appeal and potential grade. Networking with knowledgeable dealers, following auction catalogs, and engaging with coin clubs are all effective strategies for locating the finest examples. The 1968 quarter tells a story of continuity and change within U.S. coinage. It reflects the enduring legacy of Washington's portrait, while also symbolizing the economic necessity that reshaped American coin production in the 1960s. Though millions were minted, the rarest survivors, whether high-grade, era, or transitional, continue to fascinate and inspire collectors who understand their importance. It is a coin that bridges the gap between everyday circulation and numismatic rarity, making it a valuable study in the world of coin collecting. In the end, this coin's enduring appeal comes from its ability to surprise. While it may seem unremarkable when found in dirty, circulated form, the possibility of uncovering a hidden gem, an error, a proof-like strike, or a high-grade example keeps collectors searching. It represents both accessibility for beginners and challenge for advanced enthusiasts, ensuring that the 1968 Washington quarter without a mint mark will remain a respected and desirable issue in American numismatics for years to come.